Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome in if this is your first time being here. This is Tarot by Melissa, and in today's video, we're going to be looking into your career energies for 2024. So with this video going up early January, obviously I think this is a great time to kind of dig into what the energy for your career is potentially looking like as we move into this brand new year. Getting into our disclaimers, keep in mind this is a general reading, so some messages may feel like they apply quite specifically to you in your situation, while other messages might not. Always be discerning when watching tarot readings, you guys. Remember that these are general. They should be viewed as entertainment. And if they're feeling confusing or if it feels like it doesn't fit, don't try to force something to fit. That's not for you. Simply just release the message and let it go. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can book one with me will be linked in the description box down below. Personal readings are always a great way to get a more specific read on your personal situation. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our pile selection. So we do have a choice today between 3 different readings to pick from. For pile number 1, we're going to be working with this pink Himalayan salt. For pile number 2's reading, we're going to be working with this citrine. And for pile number 3's reading, we're working with this clear quartz crystal. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about your career for this upcoming year of 2024. Go ahead and select the crystal or the pile that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamps that will take you to your selected reading. See you there. Hey pile 1, if you guys selected the pink Himalayan salt, this will be your career reading for 2024. So as the energy stands today, let's tap in and see what it looks like could be headed your way in career this year, or what the energies are looking like for you. So starting us off, we have tender embrace, which is so beautiful. And then we also have the descendant energy here. So pile 1, already there's like a really major theme just like blaring at me with both of these cards. I really feel like this year in career is going to be emphasizing partnership. It's going to be all about partnerships, building relationships with other people. And the tender embrace card is specifically talking about love, right? The energy of love, the energy of compassion, forgiveness, these types of themes. I also think it's very interesting that you all selected this pink Himalayan salt, because this is a very purifying energy, right? So it could be that some of you guys are coming into this new year in career really almost like ready for a fresh start, or taking on like a new approach to relationships at work or partnerships at work. And I think with the descendant being here, keyword being invitation, I think really emphasizing how you're inviting others into your space. How are you inviting other people in to partner with you at work? The tender embrace card is about having compassion and empathy for others and building those relationships based off of the energy of love. But it also asks us to ensure that we have a balanced approach to things, right? So making sure that you're in cultivating reciprocal partnerships, not giving so much of yourself, without having something in return, or I don't want to say having something in return, because then it sounds like it's kind of conditional. But the point being is that you're striving for balance and not losing yourself or expending all of your energy in relationships that are not serving you. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's continue pile 1. Let's look at the tarot next. And for the tarot, I kind of just actually, before we do this, I actually want to use this deck. I want to look at the Archetypes deck next. So let's continue for pile 1. Tell us a little bit more, please, about the energy of their career this year in 2024. Yeah, it's like I feel like there's just going to be a lot of work around relationships, partnering with others, the quality of your relationships, all of those types of things. All right, pile 1. Tell us about career in 2024 for pile 1. We have the gambler coming up here. Okay. What else? And we have the student coming up here as well. Okay. I feel like some of you guys in career this year could be taking some sort of risk with the gambler card coming up, because this card is really about just kind of trusting in your instincts and taking a chance on something. Okay, we have this like blindfolded man here that's walking on a tightrope. Could be a really scary situation, but it's like, it's almost giving me the energy of the Fool. Again, kind of echoing this message of purification of something. Like, it feels that you all could be taking some sort of leap of faith or some sort of risk when it comes to career. Maybe following on a path that's more about like your intuition and what your gut instincts are telling you versus any sort of like logic. Not that there's an absence of logic, because I do see you guys learning this year as well. So for some of you, there could be an emphasis on school, college, higher education, things like that. But the archetype of the student is really just about being open to the fact that you are a lifelong learner, as the card says. So you all are definitely cultivating some sort of knowledge, and maybe that is coming through beneficial partnerships this year. All right, so now let's get into the tarot cards, and we're going to take a look at just a few key points. And look, as I'm shuffling what's showing up here, the Fool, that's so funny. Let's take a look at the few kind of high points in your career for this year. Again, this is just based on current energy, and this can absolutely shift and change. A year is a lot of time, right? So bear in mind, this is not necessarily set in stone. All right, so high points in career in 2024 for pile 1. All right, so we have a Page of Wands. Let's see, we're going to get a few of these. Two of Cups. There's that partnership energy again. Points. Six of Swords. And then we have the Death card. Wow. Beautiful energy, you guys. I'm actually like feeling really excited for this group about their career. So I definitely feel really confident in just confirming that you guys are starting off this year on a new path with the Page of Wands. I feel like you guys are, like, this says literally a new position, a breath of fresh air, very similar to this Himalayan salt that's here. Page of Wands is also a creative energy, okay? So creativity could be really important to this role that you're taking on or this new energy that you're fostering in your career. But the point being is that you guys are off on a new path, and this feels like something that's really exciting and creatively stimulating to you. And it's something that's like inviting in fresh, new energy into your career. It's kind of like reviving you. It's like, it's a burst of energy and excitement that I see. Again, you know, mirroring a lot of our messages from here, a really important high point in your career this year is going to be around beneficial partnerships, beneficial connections, as the card says. And if you guys notice here, it's the Two of Cups, right? Sometimes we can get like the Two of Wands in a career setting, and it kind of talks more about like business partnerships. Two of Cups is talking about like emotional connections, building emotional connections with other people. Maybe some of you guys are students, right? Like we said earlier, maybe you are teaching students for some of you. Either way, it's like the goal is around building trust with other people, building those harmonious, balanced connections that are beneficial to each other. Some of you guys could also be working with a business partner during this year, or just a partner in general, where you guys kind of team together on a lot of things. And there could be like a connection. You see how this card is also talking about work-life balance? It could be that sort of a connection as well, where like you fill in for one another if the other one is out and things like that. But partnerships, emotional connections with other people, really important to your career this year. I also see for a lot of you guys that whatever you're doing for your career is bringing in really positive, well-received change. It almost feels like there could be like financial relief as well for some of you guys. I'm like really being drawn to the money that's in both of these two cards actually. But this card of the Six of Swords tells me you guys are also moving away from something that has been stressful to you. This also confirms a change in position. But I think with the Six of Swords, the point being is that stress reduction and kind of smooth sailing onto this new path are being emphasized. Some of you guys also this year, in keeping with work-life balance, could be actually maybe planning a vacation. Maybe this is something you guys haven't done for a long time, but because you have this great partnership energy, you're able to finally take some time off, and dedicate that type of time to your personal balance. I also feel that some of you guys watching this for pile one could be moving or like physically relocating for work, because the Six of Swords can also talk about physically moving. But with the Death card being here kind of toward the end of the spread, I feel like this is basically just saying that the path that you guys are starting off on this year is really it's really putting you on path for really deep transformational change in your career. And with the Death card, I love that this card is highlighting the keywords of inevitable change, because that's always how I've experienced the Death card. It's like it's slow transformation over a period of time. You guys may have been feeling pulled to this direction, again with the Gambler, that intuitive energy, for a long time. And you're aligning onto this path because you yourself are trusting in your instincts of what's right for you in career more than maybe you have in the past. And you're changing and evolving and transforming, and thus your career is kind of following suit. So what you guys are stepping into is really, it's contributing to massive changes to your career and to your life in general. So let's continue. Pile one. What else do you guys need to know about career this year? Let's get a few of these little career cards for pile one. I'm feeling excited for you. It seems awesome. We have branding. So for some of you, this could be involving like a creative, like your own business or something, or working in marketing for some of you. Again, there could be a business partnership here where branding is a focus this year. What else? Ooh, we have toxic workplace coming up, which is interesting. We'll get to that in a minute. It's interesting too because you guys also have the Devil here at the bottom of the deck. So, okay. We have fairness. All right. So, I definitely think that like with toxic workplace coming up, what this is telling me is that for some of you guys, this is why the relationship building is so important. Because the toxic workplace, just like with the Devil card can be here, like being here, it can talk about a couple of different things. I've seen this come up when maybe literally it is a toxic workplace, and you guys probably all know what that means, right? Where it's just like drama all the time. It just like depletes you of your energy. It's just a terrible place to be. But on a more subtle end of things, sometimes a toxic workplace can talk about working somewhere that's not quite perfectly aligned to your like values and principles, right? So just to give you like an example, you could be working for a company where they require you to work like a very rigid schedule, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, as an example. But maybe you're the type of person that really craves freedom and flexibility, and sometimes that schedule can feel really confining to you. Even though other aspects of the position might be making you happy, right? Maybe that one part of it is just kind of like out of alignment. So that's what I mean when I see toxic workplace. There's a lot of different ways that you can interpret it. But again, this Two of Cups is really about you building those beneficial partnerships that are helping you to better manage any sort of misalignments in the workplace. And I do see some really positive change, almost like moving away, because like the order the cards are in, it's like moving away from toxic energy and reducing stress and finding ways of managing stress reduction through work-life balance practices being really important to you guys this year. Some of you guys with fairness coming up, this could be like also really tied into the partnerships, because to have successful partnerships, you do have to strive for fairness and balance and harmony. You know, fair partnerships, fair relationships are typically when both people are benefiting in some capacity, right? And it's not just one person kind of taking from the other or depleting the other, if you will. I also, for some of you guys, get legal energy from that too, because when I think of fairness, I think of the Justice card. So some of you guys could be working in a legal field too. All right, we've got a couple more decks before we close this out, pile one, but so far it looks like, you guys, I cannot make this up. As I'm shuffling this deck, it'll be so funny if it actually comes out, but I don't think it can be any more clear that relationship building and partnership is super important to you guys' career success this year. We also have adjacent possibilities coming up. Let's see what else. And we have woman holding a heart, which is beautiful. Door to spirit, which is kind of reminding me of the death card. It's like, you guys are moving in this direction. You are intuitively guided to move into this direction. Some of you guys, I feel, could be entrepreneurs as well with that gambler energy, but like, you know, if maybe it feels like you're just kind of making a decision kind of blind, like you're just kind of following your intuition saying, oh, I'm just going to try this out. But you're listening to your higher self. You're on path. You're on your spiritual path, and you are aligned with like your greater spiritual mission through your career this year by taking this risk that you're taking. I think that what you guys are doing could be a little bit different than you realized, or it could feel like you guys are maybe taking a detour from your desired end goal. You know what I mean? But the beautiful thing about the adjacent possibilities is that sometimes we need to walk through some of these other doors in order to grow and develop our skills, right? Like not everything is always going to be like a perfect straightforward path to get to our ultimate goal. Sometimes we have to go this way or that way or deviate away from kind of that straight and narrow in order to become more well-rounded as professionals or as workers or whatever it is we're doing. But yeah, this woman holding a heart just like definitely confirms that you guys are, you know, again, focusing on compassion, focusing on empathy, focusing on those emotional connections with others, those trusting connections with others at work. This could be your energy, my viewer, showing up here as the woman holding the heart, but it could also be significant as this could actually be like a partner for some of you guys, the actual partner that you're connecting with the most this year. All right, so let's just grab a couple more cards and then we're going to end this message, pile one. All right, career messages for pile one for 2024. What closing messages do we have for them? The Griffin, honor and good luck. So definitely seems like promising energy ahead for this year. The Black Cat, your luck will soon change. That's kind of interesting. Black cats are a sign of positive luck. I know superstitiously they're not, if you are superstitious, but they can be a sign of good luck. And I mean, I really feel just based off of looking at your spread, pile one, this feels like a very positive reading for career, for this outlook for the year ahead. You are going to have some challenges, right? It's not going to be all rainbows and sunshine, but based off everything I see here, I think that it's going to be relatively smooth sailing as long as you can really lean into that partnership energy and building those beneficial relationships. So pile one, comment below. Please let me know how you feel like this resonates with what you guys have planned for your career for this year. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you'll be updated when I post the next reading. And I look forward to seeing you there. Bye. Hey, Pile 2, and welcome to your career reading for 2024. If you guys selected this Citrine crystal, this is going to be your message. So let's jump into your overall energies, and then we will look to see kind of what the high points will be for you this year. So starting us off, we have Roots of Abundance. And then we also have the message of retrograde. Okay, so 2024 career. Now, keep in mind, guys, a year is a long time, and we are doing this reading at the very beginning of January. The future is not set in stone, right? Things are always shifting and changing depending on the choices you choose to make today, right? The present creates the future. So I'm just guided to tell you that, you have free will to change up your circumstances, no matter what this reading says. Now, the way I read the energy of these two cards coming up is it feels right now, as the energy stands today, Pile 2, that this year in your career is really about slowing things down and, as this card of retrograde mentions, reviewing things. You guys could be feeling like maybe you're not making a ton of progress in your career, or that maybe some of your career goals or plans have they're not taking off in the way that you had hoped that they would. But the retrograde is really nothing to be afraid of. A retrograde is simply providing us the opportunity to kind of slow it down, review everything very carefully, especially as it pertains to if it's like a Mercury retrograde, it's like communication, right? Making sure that you've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's and read the details of the contracts really well and all of that kind of stuff. So the point being is that this seems to be a year where your career is sort of up for review. Okay, there's a slowing down of things. And with Roots of Abundance, there is an emphasis here on reviewing, I feel like, your material security and your foundations as it pertains to work, right? If we think about this tree, you can see that it's an older tree. It's rooted into the ground. So I feel like you guys are already really accomplished in your career in some senses. You already have built some sort of a stable foundation for yourself coming into 2024, whether it be that you've achieved a certain amount of years of experience, you've achieved certain goals. But this year seems to be more so about reevaluating those foundations, like your values, your principles, your stability with your career. And it could also be about shifting mindset around your belief systems around certain things as well, because Roots of Abundance is also kind of a manifestation card. At least that's the way that I see it. It's about trusting in the fact that you are safe, you are secure, you have everything you need, and focusing on, it's almost what am I trying to say? It's whatever you're telling yourself, whatever you see external to you is a mirror of what's going on inside. Does that make sense? So there's clearly something that you guys are not loving, I think, about your external circumstances as it pertains to your career this year. And so it seems like this energy is really about you aligning your internal desires and wants and making them a reality externally, and trying to kind of figure out how do we go about doing that. Okay. So let's continue. Pile 2. I've rambled for 4 minutes just on 2 cards, so I apologize. Tell us more, please, about the energy of career for Pile 2 this year, please. Ooh, we've got the Mentor's energy coming up. What else? Ooh, and then we also have the Storyteller. It's so interesting because it's there's something here about your career that's been very draining to you guys. Whether it's you have been overworking yourself, or there's an energy vampire around you, a toxic workplace, something like that. There's something that you're kind of distancing yourself from here. Now, with the Mentor energy coming up, this is telling me that some of you guys could be mentoring others. That could be part of your job that you do. Others of you, though, I think could be leaning on a mentor archetype, someone that's supporting and guiding you through this sort of review process. I think some of you guys could be, it's interesting that I was talking about like Mercury retrograde earlier, because with the storyteller coming up, this could have to do with actually like writing as being a part of your career. Writing or speaking, something to do with communication with your career, where maybe you guys get to like create stories or just transcribe things, something along those lines. Ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. But the other message that I get from the storyteller kind of ties back to this energy of the roots of abundance, where it's like, what stories are you guys telling yourselves about your career? Because that internal dialogue, that internal story that you're telling yourself is what ends up manifesting into our reality, right? Because thoughts can inevitably become things. So the most important thing that you can do to like change a behavior to create a different result is to start thinking differently about your situation. And that's really what I see you all doing with this energy of retrograde. So let's look, pile 2, to just kind of check in on the major high points of your career for the year ahead. So just major high points in pile 2's career coming through in 2024, please. What do they need to know? Highlight events. We have a King of Swords. We have the Sun. Beautiful energy. The Four of Wands. Okay. And then we have the Moon card being here. Interesting. 2 major arcana being the Sun and the Moon. So it's interesting because like you guys have these 2 cards here, the King of Swords and the Sun, which I feel like both really emphasize clarity, right? The King of Swords being that clarity of thought, clarity of communication, and the Sun being about like, again, having a growth mindset. It's about like clarity, like the sun shedding light onto things. There is this energy of this King of Swords being here that's being emphasized, which is a very logical and strategic type of energy. I think that it makes sense to see this card here with the Sun, especially near this retrograde energy, because I think that part of the reason why you're moving into this retrograde energy with your career this year is because we're trying to gain that clarity. We're trying to come up with a plan. So for some of you guys, this can involve like legal matters. Maybe this is a profession that you're in, or maybe if you run a business, you're reviewing legalities of certain things, right? But there's also this emphasis of wanting to make the right decision, right? To make clear-minded, well thought out strategic decisions about your future. I think there is a mindset shift that I see coming in here as well with the Sun, because this card talks about a growth mindset, right? Shifting into a growth mindset and starting to think about things a little bit differently. And through doing this, it's creating more clarity for you because it's kind of illuminating a different path than maybe you would have originally thought to take. The Sun also indicates to me that there's a period of happiness as it pertains to your work, as this card is mentioning. Like we can get the Sun when things are just feeling really optimistic and really great for us. Some of you guys with the Four of Wands could be working from home a lot this year, because when I think of the Four of Wands, I think of being in your home or feeling really comfortable and established somewhere. Kind of ties in well with the roots of abundance, right? So, but the Four of Wands, this card has some really interesting keywords on it that kind of talk about partnership as well. So some of you guys could be working together with someone, collaborating with someone, deals, partnerships, things like that. There's like an agreement that you're coming to here with another party at some point in 2024 that's being highlighted. However, you guys also do have this Moon energy, which tells me that like, I think that you guys are going to have, you know, periods this year where things feel really clear to you with the Sun. But there may also be periods where things feel a little unclear, right? Where things feel a little bit ambiguous, where things feel like a little scary because maybe we're not seeing the full picture just yet, or we don't necessarily have all of the details. I'm also hearing escapism for some of you. I don't know if there's like something about sort of avoiding things through escapism for someone out there. That could just be like one person. But the point being is there's clarity, but then there's also ambiguity. It kind of seems in flux this year. And I think the way that you get through it is through having a growth mindset. So what's next? Let's go into these ones next for pile 2. So what else for pile 2? What do they need to know about their career for 2024? So funny that this mentor card is showing itself. All right, what else? We have you're in charge. Right. So maybe some of you guys with this King of Swords are like the mentor, the leader in a specific situation. I also feel like this is really just emphasizing that it's good to stand in your authority and remember that you're the one in control of your circumstances here, right? Like it starts internally, like we've been talking about. It starts with you. We have nose to the grindstone, so lots of hard work coming up as well. When I think of that, I think of like really being immersed in your work, working really hard. Really also, I think, wanting to fine-tune your craft and make sure you're doing everything with a level of quality behind it. Let's grab one more. Massive changes. We also have mid-level here. So moving up to like a mid-level executive position could be coming through for some of you guys out there. But yeah, it could be that something is changing. Like I feel toward the end of 2024, based on the layout of these cards, like after this partnership energy comes through, it seems like that's when we get into this unclear phase, okay? And so that's where it's like moving through the change may feel a bit ambiguous, to some of you. So let's see. What else for pile number 2 in career? What else do they need to know? Energies ahead for 2024. Sorry guys, I don't have enough space to like shuffle these fully on camera, so. All right, what else? We have the woman holding a heart. That's kind of interesting that that's coming up over that King of Swords. Ooh, yes. With this third chakra being highlighted, this is your solar plexus, you guys. This is all about your willpower, your stamina, like showing up with confidence in who you are and what you stand for and kind of having that drive, to push forward. So I definitely think that there's a message here for you guys about like your personal authority that seems to be really coming through quite a bit. I think that this year, there's definitely opportunity for you guys to be making a lot of money with that door to value coming up here. Again, it feels like with the roots of abundance, there's something that's being reevaluated around like your roots, your stability, your foundations, and that can include money. But value is not just money, right? Value can also be like other things. What do you value could be a question that you're asking yourself this year as you're reviewing. Because sometimes jobs can pay really well, but then they can have like crappy work that we have to do that doesn't align with our values, or, it's about like you guys, I think, identifying what's important to you and having an opportunity to explore that this year. I'm wondering if this woman holding a heart or this King of Swords is like a partner of some sort. They're totally different energies though, because the King of Swords, like we were saying earlier, is very logical, strategic. It's very head over heart, whereas the woman holding the heart is more of like a Queen of Cups, right? To me, this is an energy of someone who's very compassionate, kind, almost like a therapist, although that could totally fit with that mentor. So maybe some of you guys are working with a mentor. But I kind of feel like this could be a mentor too. I don't know. Could be different for each of you that are viewing. I could also see that for some of you guys as being like kind of tying into the conversation around values, right? Like doing what you love. Is the work that you're doing really bringing you emotional fulfillment? That could be something that you guys are assessing as well. All right, so pile 2. What else do you guys need to know about this year in career? Closing messages. The Raven. Darkness looms on the horizon. Okay. We love a good fear-mongering card. Not. Let's see what else. We also have Earth energy. Utilize logic, reason, and common sense. How interesting. And then look, we have love, true love and fidelity. Maybe this woman holding a heart is like a romantic partner for some of you guys. Okay, so I'm not really entirely surprised to see the Raven energy here because it's very similar to the Moon card, right? Like that is essentially what the Moon card is. It's an unclear phase in your career, right? Where something just feels a little fuzzy. We don't have all the answers yet. And so I feel like with the King of Swords and the Earth energy coming up here, the guidance for you guys as you're navigating through any periods of ambiguity is to utilize logic, reason, and common sense, like the card says. Thinking very practically and thinking about your foundation and really taking a step back to review things before you jump right in. Okay. Even if you guys are moving through like some sort of a partnership or there's some sort of like merger, acquisition, or whatever it is that you guys do, making sure that before you sign anything that it is getting reviewed, right? Making sure everything is as it should be to protect yourself, right? Logic, reason, common sense. So very interesting message for you guys for career this year, pile 2. I would love to hear from you in the comments and let me know how you feel like this lines up with what you have planned for this year. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be updated when I post the next video. And I look forward to seeing you there. Bye. Hey, pile number 3, and welcome to your career reading for 2024. If you guys selected this clear quartz, this is going to be your message. So we're going to start off by looking into kind of like the overall energies, and then we're going to move into the tarot to see kind of like the key events you can look out for this year. Keeping in mind, guys, this is general in nature, and you know, a year is a long amount of time, so please don't take this as like completely set in stone because energy is always shifting and changing, and it depends on the actions you take in the future, which impact actions you take in the present, which then impact your future. So overall energies for your career this year, we've got feeling the world and we've got the 5th house. So beautiful energy, pile number 3. So with the 5th house coming up as it pertains to career, there's a couple of themes that I'm getting from this. Number 1, 5th house is like the house of fun and hobbies and interests. We have in this image kind of like an artistic energy being depicted here. So some of you guys for your career could be focusing more on hobbies or interests or kind of like things that bring more fun into your life, like maybe turning a hobby into your work, something along those lines. The 5th house can also talk about children too, which is kind of interesting. So maybe some of you guys could be working with children or in childcare. Some of you guys could be, you know, mothers or fathers or parents or something like that. And that is somehow kind of playing into your career focuses for the year. With feeling the world coming up, this is really about being quite spiritually and emotionally empathetic to others, to those that are around you. And this is definitely something that is being impacted or emphasized with your career, with the work that you're doing this year. You guys could work with other people. You guys could work in a very like emotionally fulfilling type of role. This card, though, it also talks about the need to really be mindful of boundaries as well, right? So when you're doing your work, making sure that you're not allowing other energies to sort of leech off of you and deplete you. Because obviously that's not going to serve you in your highest good. But it feels overall like very creative, fun energy. So let's just dive right into these archetype cards next and see what else you guys need to know. So for pile 3, please tell us a little bit more about their career. You guys could also check your birth chart to see what fifth house placements you have or what sign your fifth house is in to get a little more info as to what this might mean for you. But let's see. Pile number 3. What is coming up for career for the year 2024? I feel like a lot of you guys could just do like work with people, like work with the public or something. Like, all right, we've got hedonist energy. Okay, I'm already loving this for you guys. Let's see. Career energy for pile 3 this year, please. And we have the seeker. Ugh. So freeing, you guys. Some of you all could be traveling this year as well. You know, the world being here and the seeker, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are, right? This also talks about the inability to commit to a path once found. Okay, so I definitely feel like this is a year where your career is quite fluid, pile 3. Like you might not be specifically committing to one thing. It feels like there's a lot of opportunity to explore, right? And seek knowledge, seek wisdom, seek understanding, growth, expansion, right? It's giving Jupiter energy to me. You guys also have the hedonist, inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself, pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. So to me, when I see this energy, it feels like career this year is about being creative and it's about indulging yourself. It's about celebrating the fine things in life, the comforts in life, the things that bring you joy, the things that bring you happiness, right? It feels like this is a very free-flowing year in your career where you guys just get to do a lot of exploration, a lot of travel, and doing work that you really love, something that's aligned with your hobbies, your passions, your interests, something creative. Okay, so for pile 3, next we're going to go in and look at the, I don't know if I want to say high points, but it's more like the key events to look out for this year. Again, as the energy stands today. So key events or energies, high points for pile 3 in their career this year, please. Ooh, we've got the Emperor coming up. We have the 8 of Wands. The 2 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups. So interesting. We also have a Page of Pentacles. This could be like a student teacher kind of energy, like internships. I could see this as some of you guys like studying abroad or doing something like that, because it certainly feels like there's an element of like travel for some of you that are watching this reading. But lots of emphasis here on like relationships and family as well. So I think that energy of children that I was getting could be significant to some of you guys. So, all right, so looking at kind of the high points or some of the key events. So we start off here with the Emperor card. So even though I see you guys as kind of having like this very free-flowing energy of just kind of doing what you want, doing what you love, being creative, there is still this energy of needing to have a plan, okay? And needing to have some sort of framework in place. Financial responsibilities are kind of catching my eye here. So like maybe some of you guys are like early on this year kind of evaluating your financial situation, the resources that you have, and coming up with some sort of a plan to kind of support yourself through kind of getting this creativity and this project going that you're working through. We're just coming up with a plan for the year as it pertains to your career and how you're going to be conducting things. I see you guys traveling with this 8 of Wands. Like, it's so clear to me. This talks about business travel, communication, and positive news as well. But it's almost like you guys are planning for some sort of a trip, or maybe multiple trips. Like it feels to me like some of you could be going, like, floating around to many different places. I feel guided to say for some of you guys, and I'm only saying this because this energy to me feels very like anti-emperor. Like all of your overall energies that are here feel very much like the opposite of the emperor. If you don't currently have a plan, but you have these ideas of traveling and kind of like working on your art or your passions for your career, whatever, I think this card is coming up because Spirit is asking you to make a plan, to kind of look at your situation and come up with some sort of a plan, a framework of support for yourself so that you can really just fly and enjoy yourself this year. Just getting things set up correctly, you know? Partnerships and relationships are also being highlighted here. Now, for some of you, this could be like one specific person, a business partner. We have family energy here as well. So this could be like a spouse or significant other for some of you. But kind of going back to feeling the world, right? Like I was getting for a lot of you guys that you are working with other people, right? That you're helping other people. You're very empathic and you're a very like spiritually connected person. So I think this Two of Cups could also represent clients that you guys are working with or other people that you guys are partnering with. But it's kind of interesting that this is coming up right next to Ten of Cups, which highlights family business, a happy home life, domestic security, all these things. Because for some of you, this could actually talk about like a partner, like I was saying, a romantic partner or somebody that you're, committed to on an emotional level that supports you and supports the balance of your connection. And having this person in your life allows you to have this freedom to kind of be flexible with your career this year. But I feel like with this Ten of Cups, there's definitely this emphasis on, like the card says, domestic security. I see you guys just having really positive home life. You know what I mean? Like your personal life seems like it's very much thriving because your career is something that you guys can really be creative with. And again, we have children here, so children could be significant to some of you. All right, let's see what else for pile 3 about career in 2024. Do they need to know? As I'm parting the deck, we have working from home. You could definitely see that, especially with that Ten of Cups being there. All right, what else does pile 3 need to know about their career this year? We have partnerships. Yeah, so building relationships is super important. I feel like that's come up. It was a huge theme in pile 1's reading, but it's kind of subtly come up in all the readings, which is interesting. We have fairness coming up as well. Yeah, it's like whoever you guys are partnering with, whether it's a business partner, romantic partner, the emphasis is on like beneficial connections, like this card talks about. Like both parties are getting something beneficial out of the connection. It's not about like with this feeling the world card, like I was saying earlier, it can come with a risk of you feeling depleted, right? So fair relationships do not leave either party feeling depleted. Okay, let's grab one more. We have nose to the grindstone. So there's still like this element of hard work. We have branding at the bottom of the deck as well. It really feels like a lot of you guys are doing running your own business. Again, you're turning a hobby or a passion into work, something artistic here. And you are, maybe for some of you guys, this artistic energy is simply just coming up with the branding for your company. But there's definitely still hard work here. So even though there's a lot of fun, a lot of travel, exploration, all these great things, there is still this energy with the Emperor and with nose to the grindstone of needing to set up the proper structures and foundations. And with nose to the grindstone, this is really about like paying attention to those details. This could be a harder energy because there's a lot of cups here. There's a lot of wands energy. there's a lot of this very free-flowing, free-spirited energy that I see, and this desire to just enjoy yourself. So that Emperor and that Nose to Grindstone could be the area this year where you guys feel a little bit more of that challenge, because it's a little bit opposite of, I feel like, where your natural energy and strengths lie. So let's see. Pile 3. What else do you guys need to know about career in 2024? What else for Pile 3's career in 2024? We have the 7th chakra. That's the crown chakra. So again, really spiritually connected. You guys, some of you guys could be spiritual service providers, working with other people, or just like a spiritual leader of some sort. Ooh, we also have the energy of deceit coming up here, which is kind of interesting. I saw that one kind of poking out as I was shuffling. I think, you know, you guys with that spiritual energy, like, you do seem very in tune and very connected, right? Like, it feels like this year's career goals for you are really about just like being in alignment with your higher purpose in your life, your spiritual path. With the deceit card coming up, I think that there's a need to just don't be too trusting, right? Especially when it comes to partnerships or people you're working with. There is this challenge of paying attention to details that I see here. And I think with this person, this deceit energy showing up, like, it can be easy to miss somebody who's proverbially lurking, right? Or who doesn't always have like our best interests at heart. I'm also getting, for some of you, when it comes to money this year, there's a need to be really honest with yourself about your financial situation, because I feel like you guys have a lot of these really beautiful creative ideas and things like that. I don't know why. There's really nothing other than like intuitively, I just feel like there's something about being more honest or more cautious about your spending, or more cautious about who has access to your finances. Okay. And this could be something that's between you and your partner as well. Not necessarily like a business situation, but there is this energy of like a romantic partner here for some of you, and there could be something about how you two are managing finances that needs to be like a little bit more out in the open or something like that. Ooh, oh my gosh. I really need to get a new camera stand. Anyway. All right, so we're going to end the message here, pile 3, with just a couple more cards. So let's just close it out and see what else you guys need to know about your career this year. The hourglass. Time is of the essence. Okay. We also have the caduceus. You will receive news from afar. See, there's something about traveling and like long distance that's significant. We also have the winds of change here. Your surroundings will undergo a transition. So something's changing. You guys are getting some sort of news that has to do with long distance for some of you. And that could be like an opportunity or something coming in. And maybe there's something about it that's kind of time sensitive for some of you guys, because there is this energy of wanting to rush after it. You know, I just think that, again, going back to the advice of the Emperor, make sure that you guys have a plan. That's it. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure that you are being responsible. But all in all, it feels like you guys have a really creative and fun and exploratory year ahead in your career. So comment below, please, pile 3. Let me know how you feel like this resonates and what you guys may have planned for this upcoming year in your career. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be updated when I post the next video. And I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.